Alright, what's going on? Me and my brother was just talking about how it seems like a lot of black women, or the quote-unquote well-to-do black woman, feels the need to import lesser black men so that she can stand out. Now, if you really think about it, it is tough in terms of black women dating, but it doesn't make any sense for you to not have a cutoff. Even as a black man, I understand that you have to have a cutoff. Your pool cannot be the entire population of black women. Right? It makes no sense. So you have to have a cutoff in terms of what you're looking for. Now, the amount of women that fall within that cutoff may be a lot, maybe a little, but you still have to work within that cutoff range, because you're gonna have compatibility issues, and that's what black women don't understand. It's hard dating for them, but it's even more harder if you really don't have a cutoff range. Right, what's acceptable versus what's not acceptable? Because even if you do meet black men, if you have no cutoff range, you're still gonna have issues with compatibility, right? But what happens is black women never really set a line of compatibility. Why? Well, unfortunately, their sense of who they are, right? Their thirst to want to stand out, be the divas, be the strong, exceptional black woman, is completely based off of weaker black men. I could understand, I could even respect this mindset if it really wasn't about men at all, right? If they could still be who they are amongst men doing the same thing, right? I can respect it. I didn't say accept it, but I can respect what they're doing if that was going on, or if they didn't really need any man to relate to. But you always see a weaker black man somehow involved. You'll never see a black woman talking about her strength and what she's accomplished without her mentioning bum-ass black men. And we were talking about how, and keep in mind we went to the same college, just at different times, why there are always so many bum-ass niggas around. Like, why were there so many niggas who were just around who were clearly weren't in college, right? It's like, going to Stanford and seeing a whole bunch of, biker, tatted up white boys walking around. Like, why are these guys here? And what was happening is a lot of these black women were simply importing these men. Importing them, right? Just importing them. And, to make themselves feel good. So they can stand out, so they have something to complain about. And it's funny because you hear the stories of them complaining what black men aren't doing, and it's like, yo, you're not even within your cutoff range. You're definitely not talking about us. Just because you have these bum-ass niggas walking around doesn't mean that it's a reflection of me. I can really care less about what happens to you. Right? And my thing is, the problem with black women is you don't have to stunt, you don't have to be the diva, just do you. It's like, the black women want to stand out for being, highly achieved in terms of academics. But if you really think about it, if you compare yourself to other women, you're not the standout. If you talk about bodies and all that other stuff, you're really not the standout, right? Just because you have a couple of videos of black women shaking their ass does not mean the majority of black women have those bodies. So they're not really standing out in that arena either. It's okay to be average, to be normal, to do what you have to do. That's what makes somebody great, somebody who knows where they belong and they're happy with it. You can respect that. But far too often do I see black women importing bum-ass black niggas to make themselves feel good. Right? To make themselves feel good and to later on and complain about it as if they were dating within that cutoff range that I talked about before. You have to have one. I don't care how hard it is. You opening up your cutoff range to accept more black men in isn't going to help you, because the men that are going to come into play, you are still not going to be compatible with. Right? Just because, even in my case, yeah, there's more educated black women, but there's not enough of them where you can literally go out and you just see pockets of educated black women. It's still limited. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to increase or widen my cutoff zone simply so I can, have more black women to choose from, because at the end of the day, I'm still going to have compatibility issues. It's not to put them down, but it's just real. My life has certain responsibilities, and if your life doesn't, chances are we're not going to be compatible. It is what it is. Right? So it's almost like black women are putting in even more work. right? You still have to find the good ones, but instead of making sure you set off a zone so the non-suitors don't get in, you open it up to them, and then you have to shift through their bullshit. When you should have known from the word go, you would have compatibility issues. So anyways, tell me how you feel, and of course share your experiences. Take it easy. God bless.